Hello, and in this video, I'll talk about why I moved to Tulum, give you a 1-year recap, and then just answer a couple frequently asked questions. I get asked about moving to Tulum. So first, I want to give you a quick introduction. My name is Gasper. I actually originally came to Mexico about 4 years ago. I was born in Chihuahua. I lived in the States most of my life, where most recently I lived in Texas. But after the pandemic, that's where everything changed. And that's why I actually chose the Riviera Maya. I was living in Houston, and although I loved Houston when I originally moved there, after the pandemic, I just wasn't very happy. And I saw people in Tulum look like they were very happy. And I saw like all these influencers going to the beach, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So the way I looked at it is, if I'm gonna be depressed, I'm gonna be depressed on the beach. And I was already working remotely, so I was like, if I'm working remotely, like, why not work from Mexico? So that's what I did. I came down here, booked just a one-way flight. And so let me just talk about how I relocated to Mexico. So what I did was I just sold everything I could, literally came down with just luggage, put some stuff in storage, and like I said, bought a one-way flight. Wasn't sure how long I would be here, haven't looked back ever since. And I did have to go back and forth a couple times because they said I was selling insurance still, so I'd have to go back for in-person trainings and things like that. So it wasn't just I was here the whole time. But I think that is actually the new American dream. So people ask me, how are you able to do that? Because I didn't, I tell people I'm honest with them. I was like, I didn't come down here with a lot of money, but I still had my job. I still had other things going on. So, that's one of the questions I get asked. Well, what's the bare minimum? I always tell people the bare minimum, I would say, is probably $1,000. Since I was doing freelance stuff, I mean, there was even months where I probably had less than $500 a month. So you can do it with less, but I would say the bare minimum would probably be $1,000. That gives you enough money to pay your bills, go out to eat a couple times a week, and just enjoy life. But obviously, the more, because I think we've all spent $1,000 in a day. So obviously just keep that in mind. So, but I'm just saying, if you want to, live on a budget, you can. But just keep that in mind. So another question I get asked is how to move out of the U.S. and go to Mexico. Well, first of all, since I was Mexican born, I obviously had a lot of my original documents, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I didn't have to apply for any stuff. I just, with my birth certificate, I was able to get online, and I was able to get other documents taken care of for me. So this video is not designed to be legal advice or immigration advice, so just make sure you do your own research. But another question that got asked is, do you recommend moving to Mexico solo? And obviously same thing, do your own research. But for me, it was absolutely amazing. I love it. Living in Mexico is completely different to, I believe, any other place. As far as I've lived anyways, I've lived in Texas, I lived in Arizona before that, and I lived in Kansas before that. Here, I feel living in Mexico, people are way more friendly, more outgoing, definitely more social. I remember when I first came to visit here, I didn't have cash. I went to like a cenote, and I thought you could pay with a card. And I was meeting up a friend, and she was already inside. And I texted her. I was like, hey, I don't have any cash. Can you come up, pay for me and I'll pay you back? And she's like, yeah, sure. And while I was waiting, 2 other people offered to pay for me, like complete strangers just in line behind me. So it was like, it made me feel good about being in Mexico, but just things like that happen all the time. People are very friendly here. So I absolutely love it here. Also, people want to know about Mexico expat life. I tell everybody, whatever you're looking for, you'll find. If you're looking for a yoga community, a scuba community, gym community, Muay Thai, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it. If you want to get into crypto or any other community, there's other people that are into it, you'll find it. So lots of things for expats to do here in Mexico. And as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to have a lot of money to move to Mexico. like I said, I came down here with, I don't even remember the exact dollar amount, but it wasn't a lot. And I was able to do just fine. And like I said, I was working remotely, but I was doing it on a very freelance basis. I wasn't running, I was an independent insurance agent. I wasn't running ads just because I wasn't sure of the legality if I was able to sell it in Mexico while I was in the States. And I've learned later that other people have done it. It's just kind of one of those like don't ask, don't tell kind of situations. But like I said, I didn't know the legality, so I didn't want to do too many of those types of policies and then find out later that they weren't exactly legal. But there are tons of other freelance jobs. I actually found one right before I took the job I'm at now, and there's a bunch of, and I'll leave a link to them on the notes, and there'll be links to all this stuff that I'm talking about. If I talk about anything, or if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. But one of the things is, don't move to Mexico if you expect everything to be the same as it was wherever you were from. So, I had a conversation with someone about this yesterday, and they were talking about, they had a client that said, in my country, that's not how things work. Well, stay in your country then. I mean, I love that people come to Mexico from all over the world. That's one of my favorite things. That's what I love about Houston. Houston has people from all over the world, but you can't expect other countries to adhere to what you did in your previous country. And I know that's a very controversial subject for a lot of people, but I think it's just common sense. I know when I go to other countries, I don't expect them, to speak English or Spanish. If I'm in another country that doesn't speak that language, I have to try to figure it out or have some level of understanding. But I absolutely love that people come to Mexico and don't know Spanish. I love that they have the confidence in not only themselves, but in Mexico, that they're able to do that. So I'm not one of those people that hates on those people. So, that's just my point of view. If you're willing to come to Mexico and not know any English or not know any Spanish, hey, then that's fine with me. I'm not going to hate you for it. And then also, why did I choose Tulum and real estate? As I mentioned earlier, I was selling insurance the first 3 years, but I kept having to go back and forth. To be honest, I just got tired of going back and forth. So I said, if I move to Mexico this time, I'm going to live there and I'm going to work there. And so I said, well, what's the number one industry I want to get into if I'm going to do there? Like, if you had to start all over, what would you do? For me, it was real estate. It was something that I never wanted to do in the United States because I had lots of friends that did it. But I was like, you know what? I'm in a new country, a new state. Let's just try something new. So for me, it was the perfect idea. So now I wanted to tell you where I'm working at now. I'm obviously still with EXP, still in real estate, but we did land a client here at Flora Tulum. It's an amazing community. They have, everything you're looking for. They have great amenities. It's beautifully designed. They currently have 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. They also have a couple studios left, and they also have a couple villas left. I'm actually the new sales manager here, so if you have any questions about it, definitely let me know in the comments, and I'll leave information, a couple blogs I've written about them, but they're just an absolutely phenomenal community. I'm very truly blessed to be here, and like I said, I look forward to helping you. If you have any questions about moving to Tulum or moving to Mexico or real estate, just let me know in the comments. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.